Hi all, my name is Raamsundhar Ramani. In this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on the one of the economic problems that India faces, which is shadow economy. What is shadow economy? The shadow economy consists of all economic activities that are not recorded, reported, or taxed by the government. Let's discuss first where most Indians really work. It is not in the tall blistering office towers that you find in our cities. It's not in the chain factories. It's here just around us, on the sidewalks, in the small workshops, on the building sites, and in tens of millions of little grocery shops. This is India's unorganized economy, and it is gigantic. It puts almost 90% of our entire labor force to work. Consider that for a moment. And 9 in every 10 employed Indians are in informal sector. But there is a catch. Informal translates to no labor contracts, no social security in the form of a pension or health insurance, and hardly any legal protections. For the government, it is enormous loss in tax dollars that could be spent on hospitals and schools. So this shadow economy is paradoxical. It is the backbone of our nation, but it also ensnares millions in a cycle of low productivity and insecurity. Let's dissect why. So how did we end up here? Why is our economy so informal? There are three primary reasons. First, convoluted rules. For decades, India's stringent labor regulations and convoluted tax codes made it extremely challenging for a small firm to go formal. It was cheaper and it's easier to go under the radar. Second, we simply don't generate enough formal employment. Each year, tens of millions of young people join the labor force, but the formal economy can't soak them all up. So they are pushed into formal self employment as their only practical choice. And third, a skills mismatch. Much of our working population lacks the formal schooling or particular skills necessary for high paying formal employment. This isn't a new issue, it's a structural one that has been a part of India's narrative for more than 70 years, and it is standing in the way of our actual economic potential. So, how do we solve this? It is an enormous challenge, but the good news is the process has already begun. Here are the three important solutions. First, streamline everything. We must make it ridiculously simple to register and pay taxes for small businesses. Imagine single window, entirely digital portals that takes minutes, not weeks. For the short term, in the next 1 to 2 years, we can roll out such portals for micro businesses. Second, give social security to all. We must provide safety nets for all workers. The e-Shram portal of the government, which enrolls informal workers under insurance, is a welcome beginning. The idea is to universalize benefits such as health covers and pensions. In the medium term, that is around 3 to 5 years, the focus should be to enroll a majority of informal workers in and connect them to the system. Third, enhance credit access. Formal enterprises access bank credit, informal enterprises do not. But utilizing digital payment information such as UPI transactions as a starting point for credit scores, we can bring formal credit within reach of millions of small vendors. This can be scaled up aggressively in short term. Let us now see the barriers to implementation. Now, these solutions sound wonderful, but it is not that easy. There are huge barriers. The first is simply the size. We are talking of more than 400 million individuals. Reaching all of them is gigantic logistical undertaking. Secondly, there is a deficit of trust. Most informal workers are afraid that if they get registered with the state, they only get taxed and harassed, and they won't gain anything substantial. Establishing that trust is very, very imperative. Third, the digital divide. Solutions depend on technology, but individuals in rural communities do not always possess a smartphone or internet connection or the digital literacy to access the services. To overcome these hurdles entails more than policy, however, but an actual attempt at winning these people trust. So let's be clear. Formalizing the Indian economy is not about eliminating our street vendors and small family owned shops. It is about giving power to the people. It's about providing every single worker with the dignity of a formal identity, the security of a safety net, and the chance to expand their business and their income. So, by making the rules simpler and giving people tangible real life gains, we can gradually bring our shadow economy out of the shadows. This process is sheer necessity for creating a prosperous and equitable India for everyone. Thank you.